Hello, welcome to March 8th, 2025. My name is Kurt, and this is my daily Good Life meditation. This is an exercise that I do every morning, a little bit after waking up, to remember my life objectives and principles, those which are outlined in my book, Going Alone. I also use the time to think about the last 24 hours and how I did with the various challenges and the opportunities that I met. I plan for the coming day, I go over the 8 objectives of my creed, and I make sure that I'm ready for death. All right, with that, let's get started. First, welcome to new YouTube subscribers. It's nice to have you here. I need to tell you that this video is a little bit different. If you've come here for the Retiring in Japan content, this is tangentially related because this is my diary journal, my daily diary, and it has a lot to do with the experience of retiring in Japan because that's what main thing that I'm undergoing right now, that I'm experiencing. As for, pure Japan content, which I rarely cover anymore, although I do have the capability and the past reputation for doing that. The best you're going to get out of this video is the fact that I'm at a Family Mart convenience store right now. So you'll hear the background sounds and maybe the music and maybe once or twice hear somebody talking. Although it's still early in the morning, 6:09, so not too many customers coming through. Also, I want to warn you that I do sometimes stray into topics that are uncomfortable to people, most notably the topic of death. So just be warned that if that's not a comfortable topic for you, this might not be a good video for you. You can always tell these videos because they have the title, The Good Life, which is not me bragging that I live a good life. This is the Good Life is a title that I borrowed from the Stoic tradition, the Stoic philosophers tradition, related to defining what constituted a good life is, namely a life lived in pursuit of virtue. So I wrote a book called Going Alone, in which I codify my own life creed called The Good Life, again, borrowed from the Stoics, and this exercise is named accordingly. So you can always find these. I do them every day, roughly at the same time every day. They're live, and they always have that title, and you always see my mug on the thumbnail. So if you see those and you're not interested in this, just scroll on by. Otherwise, welcome to my world, at least for half an hour. And then I also want to thank my YouTube members, my supporters on Patreon, and those that watch my video, because you bought me this cup of coffee this morning here at Family Mart. And some of you that are regular viewers might think, wait, Family Mart, what about Mini Stop? There's been some internet connectivity issues at Mini Stop for the last couple of days. So I've switched to Family Mart, which is equally distant from my house. There are 3 convenience stores close to my house: Mini Stop, Family Mart, and 7-Eleven. So and then there's a Lawson, which is my favorite, further out, but there's not enough time today to get to Lawson. Although I went there, was it yesterday or the day before? And the staff there hadn't seen me for a while because I've been hanging out at Mini Stop, and they welcomed me back. The manager actually came over and made a point to welcome me back. So I think I was missed. So I had become something of a fixture at that Lawson, sitting there in the corner of see, they've got most of the convenience stores have these little dining areas. And I would sit there I'm sitting at the corner of one right now. I would sit there and do this, and they got used to it, right? Because I'd get my coffee and sit at the corner for half an hour and talk at the camera. And so that was nice to be welcomed back. And the guy at the Mini Stop now, he's so used to me. Usually there's so few customers that this area is darkened. So as soon as I go into the store, he flicks on the light because he knows where I'm headed. Okay, so what I'm going to do now are 3 things. I always do the same 3 things every day. I talk about the last 24 hours to spy any challenges or opportunities that I met and to examine how I did with those, right? This is me trying to, if I was a basketball player, this would be me watching the tapes of the last game, to see where I can improve. So, you kind of, I don't know anything about basketball. I'm just going to make stuff up. You had a foul ball. What could you have done to, have not had that foul ball or have turned that into a win of some sort. Or you did really good with that shot or that pass. How could you do more of that in the future? This is me doing that, the first part. The second part is I'll list out the 8 objectives of the creed. I won't go into detail on them. I'll just name them. This is for, this is like just for me to a mental reminder, orienting my life as I start the day towards my North Star, which is the direction of living a virtuous life. And then the last thing I'll do is I'll talk about the next 24 hours, which is it. And usually I make notes. I'm surprisingly sparse on notes today, which I have a suspicion I know why. So let's get into it. So even though I don't have it on my list, I need to bring it up. I had a real eye-opening experience 2 days ago. And by the way, if you're new to the channel, I'm 60 years old. I'm married to a Japanese woman, and my wife and I are recently retired. Our 24-year-old daughter Emily is out on her own, living in Tokyo. That's in a nutshell. That's my life. It's a good life. It's an easy life, And I'm cognizant and sensitive to the fact that any complaints that I bring up in such a life might come across as callous or insensitive or to those who are really suffering, right? I mean, I've lived 60 years. I've been through a lot of really hard times as a career man and as a family man and as a business owner, failing to losing my business. I really know what deep stress is about. I know how hard life can be. I just happen to not be in that I love that word. I'm not in that paradigm now. I'm in a really easy paradigm now. And so my complaints might come off as privileged or insensitive, and I'm aware of that. So if you hear me offering my disclaimers and my apologies, just let it go. It's just me like, trying to keep in mind the fact that I'm complaining that I had to teach I'm going to complain that I had to teach 2 hours of English this week. And there's folks out there working 60, 80 hours a week and not even able to put enough food on the table for their family. See what I mean? They don't compare. But on the other hand, this is my journal trying to improve my life. So things that are significant in this context are in fact significant. So just keep that in mind. This is not me prescribing anything for the world at large. This is just sharing my own fishbowl. So within that fishbowl, as a newly retired man, 11 weeks in, I was asked to teach 2 hours of English this week and for the next 7 weeks, for 2 months basically. And it was an awful experience. If you've seen my past videos, you've heard me say it. And I really had forgotten how much I hate teaching English. It's a real visceral thing. In fact, I'm realizing now that was I always like to tell people that I went to America to pursue my career there, resume my career there, and to bring my daughter to America, to give her American side. I'm starting to realize that I was also running away from English teaching, which I really despised and really brought out a dark side of me when I was engaged in that. Because it was after my business failed in 2008, I got into teaching English until 2014 to sustain my family. It was my role. And I didn't complain much. I just did it. I soldiered on. Remember I said before, I've been there. Although, teaching English and hating it is a small thing in the relative sense. And I swear, it was on Thursday, I had two 2-hour lessons back to back. 2 1-hour lessons back to back, so 2 hours total. And the whole 24 hours ahead of that, and even ever since then, have felt yucky to me. And a YouTube viewer even left a comment saying, who'd been watching my videos since way back in the old days, leaving a comment saying, wow, the old Kurt is back, the dark Kurt, the Kurt that, something was gnawing you inside. And this viewer had noticed that. And then I shared that comment with my wife, and my wife yesterday, my wife said, she said, I noticed it too. So I'm saying this insofar as to shine a spotlight on the fact that I've discovered something that I knew but I had kept hidden from myself even, which is that I hate teaching English, and I never want to do that again. And I'm still, my experience here is reverberating from that. In fact, the experience kind of sucked. I guess that says a lot about how fickle my sails are. It sucked the wind right out of my sails. I mean, my next 24 hours list is empty. I am devoid of. It sucked all the ambition right out of me. That's really interesting. So none of that was on my list. I didn't plan to talk about this. That I thought I was done with that yesterday. Okay, never mind. So I got that out of the way. I guess I should ring this bell long and hard though, so that it reverberates through the years, because being a qualified native English speaker here in Japan, other such opportunities will probably come my way by hook or crook, and I need to say no. I don't want to do that. I don't want to teach English ever again. But I committed to my friend to teach these two classes until the end of April, so I will do that. Okay, so in terms of the last 24 hours, the only note that I have here was that I managed the time well yesterday. And I did. Remember, if you saw these videos yesterday, I was talking about how frustrated I was. A lot of frustration these days, huh? How frustrated I was the day before the last couple of days, because I wanted to work in the garden and I couldn't get the chance. And I had this vision of a block of time, like an entire morning or an entire afternoon to work in the garden, and I couldn't do it. So yesterday I took a different approach. I, first thing in the morning, got dressed in my garden outfit, and I said, well, I'm going to do whatever needs, because there's a lot that needs to be done, as you meet when I settle into our new life and our new home. We just bought a home too. But I said, I'm going to slip in, if I can slip in 15 minutes of gardening here, or 10 minutes there, or a half hour there, then that's sufficient. So I'm just going to treat the gardening ambition as something I can do piecemeal throughout the day. And that's exactly what I did. And I did it without the mask, even though it's allergy season. And I knew that I was taking a risk, but it didn't seem to get me. And it really worked out well. I had a really good day. I got a lot of work done in the garden on the things that the hard work of those bamboo shoots. It really came out well. So the reason because this meditation is to point out the challenges and the opportunities. So I try to point out where I did poorly and where I did well. And I did well in hashtag. And when I say hashtag in a term, I'm referring to one of the 35 principles of my creed. Hashtag true limits, true opportunity. I recognize that it's unreasonable for me, and hashtag reason, it's unreasonable for me to expect to enjoy large blocks of this time so early in our home ownership journey, where we haven't even furnished our house yet, and we haven't even, as of yesterday, we didn't even have Wi-Fi yet. We still have a lot of work to do. So this vision of being this Tasha Tudor gardener, spending my leisurely days among the butterflies and the bees, it's still a long ways off. Maybe I won't get there till 2026. 2025 should be just about getting settled. That's a good idea. I should keep that in mind. When I first arrived in Japan 11 weeks ago, 2025 was going to be about the house search. And I had put that all in my head. And then the house search, I arrived, and 2 days later we bought a house. So that house search, I didn't even make it to 2025. We had completed the house search by December 14th. So what I need to do is I need to look at 2025 differently, because I fast-tracked it. I should see 2025, I see it clearly. It should be the homemaking year, the year of getting settled. And I should expect exactly what's happening right now, which is I'm a little bit here and there in terms of how to structure the days, because we're still here and there in getting settled, right? Oh, this is really helpful. I'm starting to see now why. I'm just drawing little circles here. It's circular. I I shouldn't be looking at this as a settled year. I shouldn't see 2025 as a settled year at all. This is the year of getting settled. And it should be the year of just having a lot of fun with my wife. We've been eating out a lot, almost every meal except dinner, which is good. We're fine with that. And we should be doing that and having a lot of fun. Should lean into that. Should lean more into the having fun. It's retirement time after all. Enough of that. Okay, the creed consists of 8 objectives. I'm just going to name them. I'll talk about the first one only. The first objective is to be always ready to die. That means I need to have my affairs in order, my relationship sound, and my life's work complete. So with regard to that, I have all 3 of those in case, except the affairs in order, because I'm still working on my 2024 taxes. My accountant just sent me an email this morning. I think she's almost got everything set up. So as soon as I get my taxes paid for in the United States, then my affairs will be in order there. My relationships are sound, and my life's work is complete. My daughter is raised, and my career is done, and my book is written. It doesn't mean that I don't have anything else to do anymore or any more ambitions. I do. They're just not related to there was kind of like the obligatory. It's an interesting way to put it. The obligatory purpose of purpose of my life, which were career and family, and then the decided purpose, which was the writing of Going Alone. So in a way, I guess I am all done. There really isn't anything else I need or want to do. I really could die right now, and yeah, that would be fine. It was interesting. I sat on the bench outside last night with my new friend, a young man that I met here in the valley that's been here for 7 months from America, teaching English. He's 23. He's younger than my daughter, and I'm 60. And we sat out on the bench last night drinking beers, talking about the perspective of life in Japan. He, from the start of his life, looking forward, filled with opportunity and ambition. He's studying Japanese really well, learning all kinds of stuff. And here I am on the other end, not, I wouldn't say winding down, but on the other side of the mountain. I'm going down the mountain. He's climbing up the mountain. That's a good way to look at it. And he's like studying Japanese like crazy, and I'm going, that's great, you're like doing that. And he's like, what about you? I was like, not me. My hard studying days are, well, unless it's something I really like, are done. I mean, we're just, going up and down. There's a lot in that. Imagine I'll meet him frequently. His name is Thomas. He's a nice guy, really nice guy. Okay, then the second objective is to be always ready to die, to make good and effective use of time, to develop and maintain good and sound life principles, to cultivate good emotional reactions, to perform good actions relative to my creed. Number 6 is to recognize my true limits and true opportunities. 7 is to do just one thing at a time and do that thing slowly, deliberately, carefully. And 8 is to keep my balance. Oh, and if you're wondering, does Kurt not have a purpose? I do have a purpose, and Thomas asked me about this last night. My purpose is to sell my book, not to make money, but because I think my book is helpful. Going Alone. Going Alone is the story of how I basically reconciled my place in life. I keep telling people that it's after I gave up my religion, but that's only incidental. It's not like giving up, like stopping being a Christian wasn't the biggest thing in my life. I mean, it was a thing. It was a long time ago. So when I was 16, but it wasn't like it was like suddenly realizing that that you don't like spinach omelets, right? It's like that's what leaving Christianity was like for me. It's like, man, and it wasn't a matter of preference. It was like this belief doesn't have good substance. It's not a good foundation. It's resting on sand. I'm gonna move on. Thanks, guys. It was nice knowing you. I'm gonna move on. that's what it was like. So it wasn't, and then I just moved on and I didn't give it any other thought. Even though I still read the Bible every day, I really do that because I like literature and I like being able to spot literary references when they come up in the Bible. But what did happen is when I left Christianity, I then was disconnected from the value structure that I thought I had there, right? I could like turn to the Bible and to my Christian peers and to the model and examples of those my believer friends and family to help me determine how to live my life. And when I didn't have that anymore, I didn't really consciously think about it, but I realized, wow, I need to develop some value structure. And that's where I set off on the course, beginning at age 16, that led me to writing Going Alone, which isn't a religious book at all, but it does codify the values that I built for myself so that I could try to live well in the time that remains, particularly after I gave up being Christian. So that's the only reason I ever mention the fact that I stopped being Christian, is so that you can see so that anyone that's curious can see, well, what was the impetus to write Going Alone? Why did you write Going Alone? Why did you create a book and codify a creed? Well, it's because I didn't have any value structure to lean on because I'd given it up. So given up the one that I thought that I was aligned to. So the purpose in the rest of my life is to share Going Alone. I gotta remember that. Because I keep forgetting that I've got this whole book and this inertia. Because I rarely ever talk. I'm so ridiculous in some ways. Like, I wrote another book called Retiring in Japan. And then I said, oh, I'll market this thing I'll create a YouTube series called Retiring in Japan, and I'll make daily vlogs about it. I don't think a single time, I've done 83 videos in that series, and I don't think a single time I've mentioned the book. Although the book is selling well. I just keep forgetting. I keep forgetting also that all of this video as well, is all based on another book, Going Alone, that I keep forgetting to market and sell. And not because I'm trying to make money necessarily, it's just, although the money does buy me coffee, it's because I genuinely believe my book can help people out. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about is the next 24 hours. I don't have anything listed there. That's because I'm going into this day a little confused. When I dropped by, I took the dogs for a walk. Yumiko's foot was hurting, so I took the dogs for a walk last night, and I went by. Ollie, the black dog, wanted to see Auntie Yoko, who lives down the river from us. So we swung by there, and when I was talking to Yoko, she asked me what time Emily was coming today. And I said, my response was, is my daughter. I said, is Emily coming today? I didn't know if Emily's coming today. Yoko got a good laugh about that. So I don't know if my daughter is coming today. And then I got home and I forgot to ask my wife if Emily's coming today. If Emily's coming today, then that changes everything. The whole day will be, shifted towards catching up with our daughter. If she's not coming today, then I think I'll put on my garden gear. Oh my gosh, I've been having I think the IKEA shipment is coming today. I think my new sofa is coming today, my rug, all kinds of other things. We really need to be shopping. And maybe if Emily's not coming today, maybe Yumiko and I can go downtown and do shopping. Because we need stuff for our house. Or maybe we'll do DIY. Or maybe I'll play in the garden. Who cares? I'm retired. I can do whatever damn hell I want. But I need to have some structure. Okay, let's read comments and then I'll sign off for today. There's Robert. Hi, Robert. Good morning, Christopher. Good. And would love to get your book. Oh, Christopher, thank you very much. If they're all available on Amazon, you can buy them from the videos. I think even this video. So if you just look on my YouTube, any of my videos, you'll see the books linked there. There's also, I have a YouTube store. You can buy them there, all over the place. And you can read it for free, Going Alone for free at goingalone.org. Busy Lizzie, there you are. Hi, everybody. Christopher says, no need to teach again. No, I don't need to teach it again. I don't want to do it. And Christopher says, do I miss the desert power? I actually don't. And it's not because I don't have anything against the desert. It's just that my work there was done. The desert was the venue to write Going Alone. I'm complete with that. The only thing that I really hope to, this is going to sound strange. I warned you, I talk about death. I would like to die in the desert. So I would, but that's going to be tricky to time, right? I don't need to go down that road. But if you're ever curious, let me know. I do. If I can plan my life and my death well, I'll die in the desert. Molly, hey Molly, I'm not ready to die. I haven't finished my collection of the Tiny Tim shot glasses. Ah, I don't know what that means. I know who Tiny Tim is, to tiptoe through the tulips. And then Robert says hi to Molly. Molly says hi to Bobby. And did you just compare Jesus Christ to a Spanish omelet? I guess I did. I was trying to find some sort of, Molly, I was trying to find some sort of reference that would be something that you would like for a while but not like. Like, I can't say a ham and cheese omelet, because everybody, unless you're a vegetarian, that likes ham and cheese omelets. But spinach omelets, that's the kind of thing you can like for a while and realize after a while, maybe I'm not so fan of spinach. Good one. I love spinach omelets. All right, hallelujah. At least it wasn't a blue cheese omelet. Oh, that's even worse. Blue cheese, yum. Vintage, I don't know if I can pronounce that name. Vinhanaj? I can't do that. Looks like you are close to Buddhism. People who have lived wisely and compassionately do not fear death. Oh, I like that. That's interesting. Well, for me, it's not that I don't fear death for two reasons. One, because I've had a very rich and full life. Two, because I don't think there's anything to fear, because I believe it's oblivion. I don't believe that hell exists or heaven. It's just going to be just like the nothing that I didn't know before I was born, and that didn't hurt me very much. It's just going to be like that forever. Who cares? I won't even know. What's the one person that said it? I can't remember. If I try to quote it, I'll fail. Robert says hi. That says hi. Adventures with Mark and Sonoko. Hi, Adventures with Mark and Sonoko. I haven't seen your comments for a while. Hello, Kurt. It's good to see you. I need to check out your channel. It sounds like you've got an interesting one. Zelijka. Oh, boy. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce that. Nice day, Kurt. Have a nice day, Kurt. Thanks for the laugh. You're welcome. Molly says, I'm bogged down today. Have to go to the bus station to pick up Mrs. Molly's umbrella. I left my umbrella me too. I left it at Lawson down by Kusanagi Station. It's sitting there, hopefully in this lot. I just bought it last week. And Robert says hi. And Molly says, I want to die up on Mount Everest with a Van Halen album in my hands. I could just picture you up there, frozen in time for good. Rock on. Okay. This I believe. Yeah, I believe it too. All right, everybody, it's time for me to sign off and get my day started. If Emily comes today, then we're going to entertain her and hang out with her. If not, then maybe Yumiko and I will go downtown and do some shopping. We'll see. I'll talk to the wife. Yumiko always has a good plan of action, even if I don't. Oh, thank you, Robert. Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Be safe, but never too safe. Take care.